Hands at your heart, take an inhale and stretch all the way up. On an exhale, hinge for forward fold, bowing deeply. Inhale, stretch your heart forward. Exhale, bow back into Uttanasana. Again, inhale, stretch your heart forward, look forward, and exhale, bow even deeper now. Inhale, heart forward, and exhale, step your left foot back, set the knee down, and sweep your arms up for Anjaneyasana, as deep or shallow a back bend as suits you right now. Hands frame your right foot. Let's straighten the right leg. Keep the right foot flexed and just take a bow. Put a bend back in your right knee and slide this right leg up high. Taking a vinyasa, shift forward plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. From here, let's walk hands all the way to the feet, grabbing elbows eventually, and letting gravity pull your neck long. You might even sway, finding satisfying breaths. Crawling your hands all the way back to the top. Downward facing dog, send your sits bones high. And then we'll walk to the top of the mat, bowing again for forward fold. And then inhale, again, stretch your heart forward, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward. And exhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat, set the knee down and sweep arms up for Anjaneyasana, or low lunge. And then exhale, hands will frame your left foot, tuck back toes to straighten the left leg. Exhale for a bow, flexed left foot. And then soften left knee to sweep it all the way up. Vinyasa flow, shift forward plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, slowly drag your hands to your feet. Pausing at the back of the mat in Uttanasana, grabbing hold of elbows. Walking hands to the top of the mat again, find downward facing dog. And come high up on the tippy toes, put a deep bend in the knees, look forward, and then straighten out. Again, high up on a tippy toes, deep bend in the knees, look forward. This time, exhale to hop, top of the mat. Bow in for a forward fold. And then inhale, rise up tall. Your palms will touch overhead. And hands move through heart. Taking a Surya Namaskar A, inhale to rise up. Exhale, hinge for forward fold. Inhale, flat back, look forward. Exhale, step or float to chaturanga. Inhale, full inhalation at urdhva. Full exhalation at Adho Mukha Svanasana. Gather our Ujjayi breath here. Making any movements in downward facing dog that feel right. Maybe pressing into each finger pad. Coming high up on the tippy toes, bend the knees. Exhale, hop forward. Bow all the way down, Uttanasana. And then inhale, rise up tall, flat back. Palms will touch overhead. Inhale. And exhale, hands travel through your heart. We'll do that again. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, hinge, forward fold. Inhale, present your heart. And exhale, step or float now, chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. You can luxuriate in your breathing. and let it be audible. On tippy toes, look forward. Exhale, hop to the top. Bow down, Uttanasana. And then inhale, rising all the way up. Your palms will touch overhead. And hands will move through your heart. Putting bend in the knees, Surya B style. Arms stretch high, Utkatasana. Diving forward, make it Uttanasana. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, step or float, Chaturanga. Inhale, all the way upward, finish that breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Sweeping the right foot up to step it through. Ground the back heel, rise up, warrior one. Finish the inhale, hips squaring forward, and then exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana, taking the flow all the way to downward facing dog. In downward dog, sweep left leg up, step this foot between your hands. Ground your back heel, stand on up on an inhale for warrior one. And exhale, hands to the mat, Chaturanga Dandasana. Take your vinyasa flow. Make your way to downward facing dog and catch 5 or so breaths. On tippy toes, put a bend in your knees and hop to the top of your mat. Bow deeply down, and then bend your knees, stretch your arms up high for Utkatasana. And from Utkatasana, let's shift weight onto left foot. Kick the right knee up like Karate Kid. Just a brief little balance, and set it all back down, Utkatasana. Brief little balance, right side, left knee up toward the chest. Straighten. And set it all down. Utkatasana, sweep your arms up high, inhalation, and exhale, diving forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, stretch your heart forward. Exhale, step or float, Chaturanga. Take it all the way through to downward facing dog. Kicking your right foot between your hands now. Ground the back heel for a little standing series. Coming right to peaceful warrior. Stretch it all the way back. And then we'll make it reverse triangle, straightening the right leg. Keep stretching the right side body. And then reach forward for Trikonasana, trying to swing this left hip behind you a little bit. You can land right hand on your shin, and if you're still pretty open, you might take your fingers down to the floor. Left arm stretches high, look up. Aiming for length in every direction. If you want to deepen, track the left arm across your ear line. Keep spinning your heart up toward the ceiling. Let's fold over our right leg, let the back heel pop up, and take a little bow. You might need to step the left foot slightly forward to keep your hips good and square. Inhale, stretching your heart forward eventually. Keep your left fingers there and stretch your right arm up to the sky for a funny rotated triangle. Deep twist, reaching long from your pelvis. You might even cross the right arm over your ear line again, pulling length in every way we possibly can. Let's fold all the way over your right foot again. We'll bend that right knee just to stretch the leg up and take a vinyasa flow, possibly 3-legged flow. All the way back to downward facing dog. Kicking left foot forward now. Let's ground the back heel. Float right into peaceful warrior. Stretch it all the way back. Nice deep bend in your left knee. Feel amazing at your left side body. And then eventually we'll straighten this left leg. Make it reverse triangle. Just keep reaching back. Find that length in and around your left obliques. Keep this opening in your pelvis as you reach forward, finding Trikonasana. Take your left hand to your shin bone. And maybe slide it farther down toward your ankle, even toward the floor at the outside of your leg. Stretching right arm up. Be expansive in every direction. If you'd like to deepen it, cross your right arm over your ear line. Insist on length in this right side, all the way from the hip to your fingertips. Bowing eventually right over your left leg, square up your hips. You might need a little hop forward with your right foot. And then take a bow. You can shift around as much as you like. And then we'll find this rotated triangle. Right hand stays, left arm lifts high. You like to deepen, cross left arm over the ear line. Stretch your left side. Folding right back over left leg. We'll soften the knee now, just to stretch it all the way back. Finding vinyasa flow, maybe even three-legged. Meeting at downward facing dog. Stretching right leg high, let's step this foot outside the right hand. Grounding the back heel, send the left arm up to the sky, and then swivel your chest to the sky. Both hands down. Come to the outer edge of your left foot and send your right arm up toward the ceiling. We're going to put a deep bend in the right knee. You can straighten it, bend it, straighten it. It's preparation for Vasisthasana. In time, sliding this right foot maybe halfway back, maybe all the way back to stack feet. And potential to cross your right arm over your ear line and really dig into your right side, sending your hips as high as they'll go. And then both hands down, right knee forward, plant this foot outside the left hand for fallen triangle. Send your left arm wide at first, and then we'll make big circles. Huge circles, moving with the breath, this left arm. Spinning your pelvis as wide open to the sky as you possibly can. And then roll both hands down. And if you want to play, you could flow with your right ankle crossed on your left ankle. Meeting again in downward facing dog. And send the left leg high and step this foot outside the left hand, grounding the back heel. Sweep your right arm first up and then keep opening it. Spin your chest toward the ceiling. And then we'll roll both hands down. Try coming to the outer edge of your right foot. You could let the left knee go wide a little bit, even the left foot. Vasisthasana prep. Deep bend in the left knee at first, and then see if you can straighten it for a second. Come back in, bend, and straighten, bend, and straighten. And in time, step on back to your Vasisthasana side plank pose. Either left foot halfway back on the mat, or go for the full pose, left foot stacking on the inner right foot. Maybe even stretch your left arm across your ear line and really tilt your hips high. Find that length. And then roll down, squeezing left knee into chest and then stepping left foot outside right hand, way outside for fallen triangle. Spin your pelvis and heart up toward the sky. Open your right arm wide and then make huge circles, exploring the range of motion of this right shoulder joint. Follow your breath, one more big circle. And then both hands down, slide the left leg up behind you. And if you'd like to play around with it, you could cross your left ankle over your right ankle while you take the vinyasa flow. And meeting eventually in downward facing dog. You might bend the knee at a time. Make it yours. In time, shift your right leg high, so high you stack your hip and bend your knee. Open your hips and look over your left shoulder to see if you can glance your right toes. Then roll your right knee in towards your chest. Keep it there as you try a right side plank, inner left foot down. Both hands to the mat, step your right foot forward and come into a high lunge, stretching your arms up first. Tuck your tail, zip your belly back, get tall, and then open your arms wide. You might take them to 90-degree angles, and send your chest toward the sky. Offer yourself. How open can you become? How free can you feel? And we'll set the left knee down. Again, sweep arms up and back. Maybe the palms touch. Koundinyasana. And then exhale. Begin straightening your right leg. Hands will frame the foot. Flex your right foot for half Hanumanasana. Bowing deeply down. You can choose to stay here or wave first forward and then down, deepening with every exhale. From here, step your right foot back down onto the mat, tucking back toes. Sweep your right leg high, and again, stack your hip, bend your right knee, and point it to the sky. Get as open as you dare, and maybe come onto right fingertips for just a play with the flipping dog, but we're not going to quite flip the dog just yet. Let's take Vinyasa flow. And again, let's meet in downward facing dog. Stretch your left leg high. We'll stack the hip, bend the knee, point it to the sky, and open your hips. And look up over your right shoulder, see if you can peek at your toes. And then we'll send this knee up toward the chest, take a left side plank. And see if you can hover this left knee, maybe even extend the leg. As you roll down, place your left foot right between your hands. And we'll swing the arms up for high lunge. Get as vertical in your spine as you can at first. Be tucking your tail to protect your low spine as you open your arms wide. And send your heart up toward the heavens. Find expansiveness in the heart space. Digging in as much as you can. Eventually, send the arms back up, set the back knee down, and then sweep your arms up and back. Maybe the palms will touch here. And then shifting forward, we're headed into half Hanumanasana, half monkey king pose. Straightening your left leg, flex that foot, and take a deep bow over it, over the left leg. If you like, you can wave your heart forward, get some extension in your spine on the inhales, and exhale to bow more fully. You also have the option just to hold it in a bow. In time, stepping the left foot on the mat, tuck back toes, and sweep the left leg high again, stacking your hip, bending the knee, pointing it to the sky. Play with a tilt as though we're going to flip the dog, but we're not really going to just yet. And come up onto left fingertips, challenge your balance for a second, and then shift forward. Plank push-up position, traveling through your vinyasa, meeting back in downward dog. In time, coming onto tippy toes, we'll step or hop to the top of the mat. Separating your feet hips width, let's step right on our hands. The fingers will face our heels for Padangusthasana, bowing down and shifting some weight onto the toes. We'll take 5 to 8 breaths here, allowing the heart to slow down and finding more length in our hamstrings, down through our calves. We'll release the hands, shift the heart forward. And then joining toes to touching again, let's step or hop through a vinyasa flow. We'll meet back in down dog. From downward facing, stretch your right leg high. You can stack your hip, bend your knee, open, open, and then step this foot between your hands, ground your back heel, and come right into Warrior II. Just enough time to settle into the posture, and then we'll interlace fingers at the low back. Tuck your tail, stretch your heart up toward the sky, maybe even let your head go back. From here, let's take an easy side angle pose. The right forearm to the right thigh, left arm across the ear line. Do your best to spin your heart up toward the sky. Then reverse a triangle. Reach your right arm back, straighten your right leg. And we'll come back to a side angle, this time right fingers outside the right foot. Left arm still stretches across your ear line. We're doing our best to plug the left shoulder blade into the spine as we spin our heart to the sky. Use your core to come all the way back up. Reverse triangle. Stretch back, inhale. And then exhale. Right fingers touch down inside the right foot. Left arm will stretch up. And maybe you even grab a bind from here. Left arm behind your back. Right fingers find left fingers or maybe your left wrist. Aiming to lift some weight off of the right thigh. To let it go, tuck your right arm underneath your right foot and right leg, and we're going to come right to sit. Left knee bent in. Right leg, I'm trying to take it as high up under the right arm or even shoulder as we possibly can for a compass pose. In time, taking hold of the right foot with your left hand and doing your best to straighten your right leg. If you can, send your heart through the hole you've created. If you're nowhere near what it looks like here, who cares? Just do your best to straighten your right leg. Enjoy the feeling. Know that you're making progress. And here, a little playtime, Astavakrasana, if you want it. You can always pause and try it again. It's just a practice coming through Koundinyasana II. It's just a fun little standing or arm balance series. Headed into Vasisthasana variation. Left foot down, left hand down, right arm or right leg rather stretches high. You might grab yogi toes. Do your best here. You could even just take a good old left side plank. And find breath and stillness, and then we'll flip this one. Bend your right knee deeply. And we will find wild thing, long-awaited wild thing. Rolling all the way down, let's send the right knee forward and set up for pigeon. Squaring hips, take your time. And then we'll find relief here. We'll allow the heart to slow down as we bow forward. Take it slow, make it yours. And you've got a full minute here. Let's climb back up onto hands. Step back into three-legged dog, right leg swings high, and travel through an optional vinyasa. We'll end up back in downward facing dog. You can put a deep bend in your knees, send your hips high, crouch down, and then straighten back out to dog, sending your left leg high and stacking this hip. Point the knee to the sky, open up. And we'll step left foot between the hands, grounding the back heel, float right into Warrior II. Again, just enough time to set up the pose, to find your focal point, just beyond your fingers. Then we'll interlace fingers beneath the tailbone, tuck tail, lift chest, maybe even look back. Releasing, we'll find an easy side angle pose. Left forearm rests on left thigh, right arm across the ear line. Dig into your ujjayi breath, really pulling length all the way from your right hip to your right fingers. Let's float into a reverse triangle. Left arm stretches, left leg stretches, reach back. We'll come back into side angle, planting left hand outside left foot this time. Right arm up and across. And finding more and more length along this right side body. And doing our best to spin the heart up toward the sky. Engage the core firmly and float right back into a reverse triangle. Straighten your left arm, left leg, reach back. And then finally, another side angle pose, left hand inside the left foot, right arm up and across. Or if you prefer, you can find your bind, right arm around the low back, fingers clasp. Wherever you are, see if you can lay your chest back, lengthen the neck, opening your right shoulder, be swiveling your heart toward the sky. To release, hands to the mat, tuck left arm underneath and we'll hop the right foot through, trying to get your left leg as high up onto your left arm as you possibly can. We're headed into compass. If you know what that means, you can head on in, but ultimately your right hand grabs hold of the outside of the top of the left foot. Left hand next to your hip there, and we'll do our best to straighten the left leg. It doesn't have to be totally straight, as long as you feel that pretty deep stretch to your hamstrings and likely your IT band. You can even close eyes, doesn't matter what shape you're making, but the feeling of it, this feeling of pushing our limits is kind of important. To exit, you can take a vinyasa. We're headed eventually into side plank. If you want to do this little playtime, it's Astavakrasana balance. Try to send your right knee underneath, hit a Koundinyasana II, and then tilt on out, practicing side plank on the right side. Maybe grabbing your left toes and opening that door wide. But again, side plank or side plank modification is perfect. You can pause this all and try it again. You can curse me, I don't know. Always just keeping a sense of play if we can. Stepping left foot back, headed into a wild thing here. Stretch your left arm back. Take enough breaths to grow into the fullness of your pose. And then we'll roll it all over, send the left knee forward, and set up for a well-deserved pigeon pose. Take your time setting up, and take your time folding forward. When you find your full pigeon, if you choose to, you can turn to the left, sending your right arm underneath, planting your right shoulder down, and resting. We'll be here for about a minute. And then the video is going to end, so please do take a Shavasana when the practice is over. Thank you very much for watching. Namaste.